front line and they lose their life, probably lose the weapon and it's in the falls in the hands of. What of those that we have learned that connive and supply their weapons? Some people hire their weapons. There have been cases where criminals were caught and they said that they start pointing at security agencies or a security man who is armed with Nigerian taxpayers' money. Probably uniform subsidized to a great extent, the boot he wears, everything. And some allowances paid to him by our taxpayers' money. We use the same weapon as his asset, national cake. We're renting it to the bad ones to fight his people back up. Nigeria is a place where you hear so many stories, and bet you some of those stories are no smoke without fire. So there's nothing you hear in Nigeria you pretend and say, no, you wave it off. Don't pretend you don't hear anything in Nigeria. Just recently.
Globally in 2024. I will this morning. We'll begin on the Punch news right below the mast. Telcos tariff hike. Reps demand reversal as new pricing begins. Lawmakers demand improvement in telecom services. MTN others raise data tariff. How is that impacting you? I saw someone who had a photo of the new tariffs and so many persons say it was more than 100% a hike, you know. So if you say it's 50%, how come it is 100%, playtime? INEC strategizes to tackle vote buying during Anambra governorship polls. Senate grills IG over 178,459 missing guns, alleged contract splitting. Tension as police occupy Osun local government secretariats over chairman's tenure. Makinde APC trade words over UCH crisis. Over now to the Nation newspaper this morning. Right above the mast, Emirates Air Peace sign pact to link 13 Nigerian cities. Emirates Air Peace sign pact to link 13 Nigerian cities. Payment of new fee on ATM card use begins March 1st. MTN tariffs up by 50%. Payment of new fee on ATM card use begins March 1st. Federal government secures 100% stake in Keystone Bank. Dangote refinery slashes diesel ex-depot price to 1,020 naira per litre. 2027, Ganduje fires back at El-Rufai for attacking Tinubu, with the rider APC chairman urges North to wait till 2031. 32.8 billion naira giving us loans to 169,000 students. With the rider, Information Minister Idris lists Tinubu's achievements, ministers to present scorecards. All the details you can find on The Nation. Lagos ends working from home arrangement for civil servants. Okay, it's interesting. We're moving now over to the Daily Trust newspaper. Federal government suspends 4% levy on imports. OIC meets over Trump's plan for U.S. takeover of Gaza. Reps to begin debate on tax reform bills today. Abductors of APC National Director demands 350 million naira ransom, with a rider as Jen Sigar remains in captivity 1 week after. Nigeria gains points as Transparency International ranks country 36th most corrupt country. Reports shows Tinubu's government making progress its presidency. Federal government to crash food prices through investments. Minister. Federal government to crash food prices through investments, says Minister. MTN begins 50% hike implementation as lawmakers call for suspension. Tinubu will seek re-election. North must wait till 2031, says Ganduje. Now on the Guardian newspaper, 67% of Nigerian secondary school aids exams malpractices. 67% of Nigerian primary and secondary schools aid exams malpractices. Police face Senate scrutiny over 3,907 missing assault rifles. NWC kicks as Abia PDP suspends Wabara for endorsing Oti's re-election. Below the masts, ATM withdrawal fee, CBN bets on breaking POS monopoly, improving banks' cash operations. 2027, El Rufai warns of APC implosion as Ganduje, Boala, others differ. Valentine's Day, NACA urges Nigerians to shun risky behavior. And by risky behavior, it means do not move from one place to another seeking love on that day. I mean, it will mean like if you must find love, I'm sure that by now you should have found love. Not on that day you start looking for love. Whatever it is. But again, NACA is saying Nigerians must shun risky behavior. One partner is it, practice ABC, abstinence, be faithful, and the use of condom. Very important. 300 die in tanker fire in 4 months, says federal government. 300 die in tanker fire in 4 months, says federal government. New tariff regime begins as telcos implement 50% hike on calls and data. Motekun raises alarm over influx of strangers in Ondo forests, reserves, border communities. All the details on The Guardian. Over now to the Daily Times newspaper. Halt telecom tariff hike, reps tell federal government. CBN raises ATM withdrawal charges to 500 naira and free transactions. Defection, PDP loses another lawmaker to APC. All the details on the Daily Times. Still on the Daily Times. NIN requirements to access social services palliative, says SGF. FCT Security, Police, Military, DSS set up committee over Almajiri influx. Bauchi government laments food insecurity woos Portuguese investors. NSA promises refined security strategies ahead of Anambra Guba. All the details on the Daily Times. Now to the blueprints. INEC to security agencies replicate the Ondo feat in Anambra FCT other polls. Ganduje to Northerners, drop your 2027 ambition for Tinubu's second term, with the writer says renewed hope agenda working. Northern Youth Forum promises 5 million votes. CBN scraps free ATM withdrawals for other banks' customers. With Nigeria now Africa's investments destination, 2025 year of consolidation, says the federal government. With the writer disburses 32.8 billion naira NEL fund loan to 169,000 students. Troops eliminate 8,000 terrorists, recovered 10,000 weapons. Anambra CP assures justice for 3 kids murdered, dumped in refrigerator. Exchange rates narrows to 50 naira as naira rises to 1,500 naira to a dollar. NWC voids suspension of PDP BOT chair. Wabara. Rebs query NIS tenure on unaudited report. Senate shocked at 3,907 missing police rifles. On the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning, Customs suspends implementation of 4% FOB levy. Reps want immediate halt to propose hike in telecoms tariffs. Nigerians to pay more with withdrawals as CBN increases ATM transactions fee. Still on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, perish thoughts of 2027 presidency. Ganduje tells northern politicians, says Tinubu will serve 2 terms. Nigeria ranked 36th most corrupt country globally in 2024. I will go on exile despite plans to arrest and detain me, says El Rufai. NAFDAC seals Idumota, Ariara, Onisha drug markets. Federal government committed to reducing food prices through agricultural investment, says Information Minister. Police lost 178,459 firearms as of 2018. Auditor General's reports show. It's an interesting development, really. The best place to leave it, in our headlines, maybe the best place to kickstart the review this morning. Chris Monica joins us. Good morning, good to have you.
Good morning, Charles.
How do you do?
And good morning, the world. I'm doing well, and I can do better by the grace of God.
So the police is answering questions about the loss of 178,000 firearms right under their custody. I mean, you look at insecurity and then you want to look at places, like these areas. I mean, what happens? How would you lose 178,000 assault rifles and then we're screaming about insecurity in our country?
The police and the loss of almost 2,000 assault rifles, 1,300 and what? Is it 3,000?
That's like they did it yearly, but cumulatively it's 178 as of 2018.
1,000.
178,000.
And the police know where the rifles are. Nigerians know what happened to the police and their rifles, because police are Nigerian police. Their name is Nigerian Police Force, NPF. They are Nigerian police serving Nigeria in an era of insecurity. And they find it may be that the terrorists, the bad ones, find that the police is a low-hanging fruit, a source of their arms.
Mm-hmm.
For us to be losing that quantity, and we're just hearing about it now. So what are we talking about? You know, when we're talking about assault rifle, we're talking about AK-47, very sophisticated weapon. Most of these terrorists, with one AK-47, they can rule over a city like ENUGU. Just one.
Mm-hmm.
And then check the number that is missing. My surprise is that we are in February 2024, 2025. That's when we are coming out with this report that this is the quantity of assault rifles that are. I'm not blaming police for anything. There are people who have devoted themselves to going to police as source target. And let me assure you that some of our Nigerian army boys, the gallant boys, who are in the front line fighting, that when they are down, these terrorists ambush them, in some cases overpower them for benefit of propaganda and all that. Nobody reports that, but we know we are also bleeding. It's almost like full war. Those weapons that those gallant boys who fall or fell in the front lines are also in the hands of the terrorists. And so probably we are not talked about the one lost by direct or indirectly by the Nigerian army. The Nigerian customs, they bear arms, DSS bear arms, Nigerian Navy and all the security agencies, the ones that bear arms. And Nigeria has made it like it's already, some of them have begun to use. There's some, I don't know the name they call that one. You see some sophisticated weapon that these boys wear. That's cool. Now, this quantity to be in the hands of terror and people against us is a very dangerous situation. Let's talk about these people who are the good ones fighting in the front line and they lose their life, probably lose the weapon and it's falls in the hands of. What of those that we have learned that connive and supply their weapons? Some people hire their weapons. There have been cases where criminals were caught and they said that they start pointing at security agencies or a security man who is armed with Nigerian taxpayers' money. Probably uniform subsidized to a great extent, the boot he wears, everything. And some allowances paid to him by our taxpayers' money. We use the same weapon as his asset, national cake. We rented it to the bad ones to fight his back up. Nigeria is a place where you hear so many stories, and bet you some of those stories are no smoke without fire. So there's nothing you hear in Nigeria you pretend and say, no, you wave it off. Don't pretend you don't hear anything in Nigeria. Just recently, There's a viral video going on that the people who are the armed robbers are condemned criminals inside prisons. It's going around. Have anybody defended that one? Has the Nigerian Correctional Center defended that condemned criminals in death rows are released at night to go into Nigerian street and they return in the daytime to the prison? And somebody said, what if they find the operation so dangerous that they decided not to return and then go somewhere else to hide? Certain things you hear, you start feeling it's dizzying, and you say, am I okay? Something is wrong. But like the person said, I said it's not verified because it's not coming through the official quarter. But I cannot pretend I didn't hear it. Because if you pretend that you didn't hear it, you will only be dead by the time you prove it and you confirm it. So it calls for concern that number of assault weapons, which are mixed, could be from AK-49, also maybe among, then the AKs and all the sophisticated weapons in the hand of, it cannot be accounted for, only by Nigerian police. What happens to the other one that cannot be accounted by other security forces? Meaning, we are clearly sitting on keg of gunpowder, and we're not expecting to get better. You can only, when it explodes again, it's like, hey, it has happened again, and we're counting numbers. And those who write beautiful speeches for Nigerians who are in high position of authority, who have invested with our life, the speeches, and they just dust it and customize it. If it happened in Enugu, they will just customize that speech to fit. They're not writing fresh speech because they also predicted what will happen. With this number of weapons in the hands of people who cannot account for, the speech writers for the governors, the presidents, and all the ministers, IGPs, when they write all those condolence messages, they don't have big jobs. It's just to be running it around.
The problem is that I'm even shocked at how these rifles get missing. Is it that the police sometimes go out with it and they don't return with
if you are attacked because you are in the front line, or some people ambush you and they take your weapon, that one is understandable. Yeah. We know. But the way I'm talking about different sources, if you begin to analyze it and you even call the police themselves, they will start telling you different sources. But the ones we have said that warriors is the ones who deliberately hire these weapons out or sell them off, and then cook up stories. Anything can happen. Well, good luck.
So there's a possibility that even the police themselves sometimes give away these rifles.
We have had stories like that.
To non-state actors.
We have had stories like that. But it's only then that will confirm. Because if you talk about this, like, nobody's against the police is your friend. We have accepted it over the years. But with this number of weapons, when they are being attacked, I was also sat here to say, let Nigerians help Nigerian police because they are human beings. They need to be protected. They need to be empowered to be able to face, because terror and insecurity in Nigeria has taken another dimension. So we look at balancing it. When you in the line of duty that's legitimate and something happens and we can prove it, we give it up to it. But the ones that deliberately, because of corrupt mind, give out weapon, that's the highest betrayal of trust anybody can give. So you put all of them together, that's amount to that number of weapons missing. Both the one that is rightly missing, when I mean rightly, from maybe all those kind of, in the line of duty, the occasions that they cannot account for comes and they are overpowered. It has happened, we know. And we pity and our soul go out with them. But we are worried. And we sit to pray for those who saw power, as the Bible said, while the men were asleep. Those agents of darkness working in our security forces that have, crippled into it and doing their business with these weapons. May God of creation visit them. Because whatever they sow, they will reap. When you do this, there's nothing you will do to a man who has visited your house with a bicycle that when he's going back, he will not give you the backside. So what are you going to do to these people? They just collect money, blood money. If it happened in line of duty, something happened, we have talked about it, but then we are talking about all of them together because we are reviewing the story.
Yeah, Anambra poll is in November, and INEC is strategizing on how to tackle vote buying. I mean, vote buying become a bane of our elections because of hunger, largely.
The story of a woman is a Agnes Ngwam Areyuma. That means Agnes Ngwam you don't like. So, at the election, INEC did not plan about vote buying, and votes were bought, and the election were rigged, and they're still in court. Even in the panel, they transferred the panel sitting from Benin to Abuja because of guns, exchange of gunfire at the panel sitting. The SOTA. It's so wild wind. You are reaping hell. You didn't plan to stop vote buying. When the election was about to start, we were here crying about vote buying. We saw it. We told them that INEC didn't say anything. There were elections fixed for Ondo. INEC did not bant about vote buying. And there were elections in Kwara and some other places, both local government and all. INEC did not. There were even elections in ENUGU. They did local government election in Anambra and all that. Well, their votes were not just bought. They were dashed. They were given to buy something. Votes were tokenly given, not just buy. So Anambra is here. Why won't INEC go and just hide themselves in shame? If you ask me that I have confidence in what INEC can do until I see it. All these ones are political talk. And you don't tell people, you don't deceive people all the time. You can deceive them once, but you get to a point they say, oh boy, what you not sabi we sabi. When it comes to INEC, I don't take whatever they're talking about Anambra elections serious.
Why?
Because vote buying will still take place. INEC will do anything. Is INEC supposed to catch vote buyers? Is it their job?
But they can do collaborations. They can collaborate with security.
So let the people who their job is to catch vote buyers take the lead. Let INEC partner. INEC is left to what you should do. Organize a good election. You go for vote buying, and you're telling Nigerians that's why I'm saying the priority is not. They're just saying it to think they're saying anything Nigerians will buy in. I won't buy into it. And INEC has disappointed Nigerians 1, 2, 3, 5. They keep disappointing. So let them keep quiet. If they cannot stop vote buying, let them keep quiet and go and mess the elections up the usual way they normally do it. Let them keep quiet. Let's talk about better things. Don't tell me INEC is planning vote buying. And why Anambra? You cannot stop vote buying, Edo. Have you stopped what they are killing themselves going to panels? This at the time you want to stop in Anambra. Anambra is where buy vote. They didn't buy vote in Lagos. They didn't buy in Kwara. They didn't buy. I don't have any business with if you can stop it. But I'm saying you have said it several times, INEC, things you do, you didn't do. So what's the essence of coming back to talk? You begin to say action. Now somebody, they say one of our brothers, they say make something happen to you. He said make it happen until you see. And it was supposed to be a negative thing. But they told him in a local language he doesn't understand. They told him Otolobag. He'll say until I see it. And you don't even know what Otolobag means. But it was like a bad omen. But because you don't understand the language, you say until I see. So vote buying. INEC want to stop vote buying. INEC want to stop rigging. INEC want to stop pulling, what they call it, box carrying and snatching. INEC want to stop changing of figures, which they have been fingered so much. Let them start doing it now and stop talking. Like Tony, the Scarface of Tony Montana, he said, they say, if you want to shoot, you shoot and stop talking. INEC shoot and stop talking because you have talked for too long and Nigerians can't say it in any way. So I don't want to talk about INEC and what their vote buying system. They themselves can as well buy all the vote and share it so that nobody will see it to buy. That may be another process. Gandhi fires back at El-Rufai for attacking Tinubu. Gun the chairman of APC, my dear friend, because of 2027.
Of course.
2027 has already been reserved for our dear president for second coming. Every northerner, nothing, every ambition, keep quiet. That is coming from Gandhi. The man Ganduje. It's wonderful. And who are they talking about? El-Rufai. They fired back at El-Rufai, attacking, and then they told the Northerners, you know, good things. You know, in my first, my father told me a story of during the old days that they do go into community wars. During those days, those founding fathers of those days, that's my village one time had a big battle to fight with a village nearby. And they went and consulted the juju man and said, the juju man, what can we do? The man gave his conditions. But he said he would do one juju when, say, Ozo, Zulu Chigas, when he throw the egg will break. And then the fight will turn back. So the fighters will start fighting themselves. So in Nigeria, political system, this is season of Ozuzulu Chigas. Because for Gandhi and El-Rufai and Amechi and to be in trade tackling of West and all, I think if it is not for our good, it's going to be for our doom. Two ways. Because if you are dealing with politicians, deal with them with long spoon. Because all this thing might be to get you to think that anything is happening. Before you know it, another newspaper will report that El-Rufai has paid Gandhi visit at night, and they settle down laughing and hugging and exchanging pleasantries. You that is coming here to talk and say anything, you will start eating your words. So let the deads bury their own deads and let Nigeria go on. Because we don't even depend on politicians to save Nigeria. We are on our own. Only God of all creation has kept us where we are. Nothing coming from all these people beyond when it is convenient for them to get together, get corrupt, take our Nigerian money and snatch it away. When they have some little squabbles, that's how we know. All the time. Why didn't we hear? It's 2027 that has started coming, and they begin to come in the open to say some things against what has happened beyond. Was it now? So leave matter for Ganduji and El-Rufai as he fires back to the north and the El-Rufai. And meanwhile, El-Rufai is not the sole politician that is representing the north. We're going to hear other ones who are to reply, because the reply will still come and we'll still hear it. 32.8 billion given as loan to 169,000 students. My own is, we have students in Southeast. I've not had anyone who received this. Was this loan selectively given?
No,
let the people who were given come out.
We have seen news item where students were giving.
Where?
UNN.
In UNN.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Because it's like you go to church, it says there's a pastor who does miracle. Of when you come there with, you will hear it, Pastor, somebody came here on wheelchair, and now they carry the wheelchair over and the man is jumping. I want to see. If you can get those students, we give them voice, they say, I received the loan, then kudos. Because it will happen to what we had of the amount of Nigerian money used to feed people in the past during Buhari's era. And we come and, have you ever gotten anything? Have you ever gotten free meal? It was like it was selectively, some people were selectively fed with our money and the figure was high. My worry is not these good things, let it go round. So if there are people, we have how many universities in Southeast Nigeria? You only mentioned University of Nigeria and Nsukka. Fine, if it's selectively done, just as quota system, we always used to, when you want to create states, every region must get it. So when you want to give loan, let every region get it. If anything good you want to share in Nigeria, let every region get it. And get it in the right proportion of equity and equality. That's only my own. And if they do it and I have evidence of it, I will say kudos to the people who will do it, or to the Nigerian government or establishment. That's all.
Right. Nigeria gains points as Transparency International ranks country as 36.
I'm surprised that our point, we are not moving fast. By now, with what I think of our country, we shouldn't be at 36 most. I mean, we're still very backward. Why should Nigeria be competing with Transparency International and then Nigerian national FIFA? FIFA, we're in the same position.
36
in
most
FIFA.
corrupt. I mean, is it not an improvement? We used to be, 15th.
I said, why are we losing points? We're losing points. We're supposed to gain and move on to fourth position. Fourth position. Why should... there was a report of the president of Nigeria being there. Some, I don't know, sometime what position they say he was, and it wasn't positive. Now, if the president can be in that, why should the country still lag back and 36? The country should be going where the president should be. If president is the third position, Nigeria should be third. So I'm not too impressed. Nigeria should get more points. We'll move forward to fifth position. And hey, that's why it because we Nigeria know they lag behind now. Why should we be at 36th position in most? They should not mess us up. I think they're beginning to marginalize Nigeria in this area. Transparency International, you are marginalizing Nigeria. Our point should be more than this. We should be at the fourth position of most corrupt country in the world. And until you do that, I'll begin to become suspect that you don't want us to progress. Why should we? With all these things we are doing, with all the number of guns in the hands of with nobody who cares for what that is hike. The National Assembly said stop hike in telecom. They've gone ahead to start hike. So who speaks? The boy who was sent to steal by his father has entered the house and start breaking all the doors with his leg, and you want to stop him? If NAS did not prove their mettle on this, then they will go back to remind me that they are just an appendage. This is NAS that when they have spoken. So when National Assembly of Nigeria combined with the red chamber and the green chamber spoke, the telecom still went ahead. Something is wrong. Now the idea is, who decides what happened in Nigeria? These people, if you don't watch them, they will begin to lose your powers as the National Assembly who make laws and determine. You have given orders that they should stop. National Assembly, distinguished senators, and the telecom operators. So you see Nigeria. And this is not the first time they said it. They've said this since the last week, middle of last week. National Assemblies, stop this hike, stop implementing it. But they've gone ahead to implement it. Somebody is behind them. And if National Assembly lose this battle,
I just feel it's just a small screen. They just needed to say something so that it will look like they are doing something. Because, I mean, this hike has been on for a while. There has been even meetings upon meetings about whether the hike should be 50% or 30%. Even Labour Union had a meeting.
You're not thinking what I'm thinking.
So you just
you are not. No. Our National Assembly is not small screen. We have distinguished senators, and we have honorable members of the Federal House of Reps, all joined together, 109, and then you come to that one, 345. You put them together, they say something, and you say it's small screen.
I mean, why didn't they say it all along? Because this has been on for a while. Why didn't they say it all along?
They are so busy with making laws in the National Assembly, and their phones, they've not gotten the alert on their phone that because, of course, it's somebody like you that will load 100 naira to make a call. So when they take 16 naira from it in one call, you will notice. But if you are a distinguished senator who has unlimited bundle of data and calls, you hardly know that there's... So you need to go to your constituency. And you can't go because there's security. So you're in Abuja. So you didn't even know that your constituency, their constituents are suffering hike. So it is when they got to know that they begin to talk about it. I am defending our honorable and distinguished senators. So don't bring what is not small script. It's only until I see with my eye. Let them fail this battle. And they will come back to the villages as honorable members. We welcome them and make them and give them new chieftaincy titles of the hikers. They may be in my village, or Sofia hiker one of my village. That is it, because they are hikers. If they allow this hike to take place with their population, and they've been saying this night the telecom people cannot remove even 1% from what they were like talk na do, that then we decide what happened in Nigeria. That's the battle.
Chris, we have to go.
We have to see CBN bets on breaking POS monopoly. I don't know. I don't understand what this 500. I hope this 500 naira is that when you go to ATM, you withdraw 1,000 naira. There. You need to explain this to me, because Nigeria, you won't know anything until you start feeling it. You start crying. By then it's late. What is CBN up to? I see this graphics distribution in Guardian newspaper. Withdraw 20,000, pay 100 naira charges. Yeah. That's ATM. On the POS, withdraw 20,000, pay 400 naira.
Yes.
Is it that POS is taking over what the bank are doing, and they are now fighting?
Apparently, they are trying to break that POS monopoly. And if you are to withdraw monies from malls, ATM that are in malls, then you are going to pay charges for 500 naira. I wonder why. But again, I mean, we are in the era of tariffs. I mean, if there's anything we would remember this government for, we would remember it at least for the kinds of taxes and tariffs that is.
But the tariff is not in the party in power. APC is all progressive. What is the full meaning of APC?
I think it has changed.
No. What is the full meaning original? Why are you changing it now? You are not a member of that party. You don't have power to change.
I think there's a T somewhere.
The other T, APC T. But that's party in power, and God bless Nigeria. Well, if it's area of hiking, you hike to a point. You hike yourself to a halt. There's nothing we can do about it. It's only when you can. All this one we're talking because if you hike and then the population reduces, people are finding alternative. Yeah. After all, it's the bank that's fighting for their survival now. When we were there, when there was scarcity, POS took over their bank. Then I went to CBN to force people to start using ATM. You walk in all the ATM, people don't go there to withdraw money because POS is everywhere. In every street, a street of what they call it, 30 meters. You find 20 POS, and some of them are varied prices, regular. Some will tell you, I'll withdraw 10,000, I'll give you 150 naira. Withdraw, they now regulate the market. So the banks are now in trouble. They sold the tar, so they should repeat. When they were selling the money, when the banks were selling money to POS, because most of them have POS operators near the banks.
Absolutely.
You see, Nigeria, whatever you sow, you reap. Now here we did, Nigeria. God bless all of us.
All right, let's leave it there. The Oracle. Chris Madika, many thanks for your
Thank you, Charles.
We truly appreciate it. We're back after this. Do stay with us.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Discharge my duties. I will discharge my duties discharge my duties to the best of my ability.
The promise of a more inclusive development became more realistic on Tuesday as the federal government inaugurated the Southeast and Northwest Development Commissions. The Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Momo, who performed the inauguration ceremony, charged the board members to spearhead development in infrastructure, agriculture, security, and foster regional cooperation in their respective zones. The minister said the people deserve the best of development, expressing to see greater development brought closer to the grassroots. He advised the commissions to come up with master plans for development in their zones and partner with the state government and security agencies to promote security in the region.
We have just witnessed the swearing-in of members of the two new regional commissions, the Southeast and Northwest Development Commission, bringing to fore the journey towards complementing the efforts of other government agencies in bringing development closer to the grassroots. This occasion marks a critical milestone in our collective commitment to fostering balanced, sustainable, and inclusive development across all regions of our great nation. The establishment of these commissions is a proof of the federal government's dedication to addressing regional disparities, promoting economic growth, and improving the quality of life for our citizens.
These commissions are designed to foster balanced growth, bridge disparities, and ensure that every Nigerian, regardless of location, enjoys the dividends of democracy. From roads and bridges to smart agriculture, food security, and clean energy, these commissions will spearhead critical infrastructure projects that catalyze economic growth and uplift the quality of life of our people.
The chairman of the Senate Committees on Southeast and Northwest Development Commissions promised effective oversight of the new commissions to enable them deliver on their mandates. In his remarks, Chairman Governing Board of Southeast Development Commissions, Emeka ENUGU, and his Northwest counterpart, Lawal Samaila Abdullahi, promised to develop a roadmap to bring development to their respective regions. Also speaking, managing directors of Northwest and Southeast Development Commissions appreciated the president for signing the bill into law and promised to address challenges in their respective regions.
Our agency's mandate is clear: to promote economic growth and development, improve infrastructure, and enhance quality of life of our citizens.
The creation of this organization and putting its leadership together is a testament to his style of leadership, and we can only leverage this platform to pay him back with results, impact, and ensuring that we judiciously use the resources being bestowed upon us.
Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Onyeka Ibezim, who was at the ceremony, said the coming of the Regional Development Commissions marks a shift towards greater grassroots development. Shortly after the inauguration, a reception was organized to celebrate the new leadership of the Southeast Development Commission. In attendance were friends, family, top politicians from the Southeast region, top government officials, among others. In his speech, Chairman Southeast Development Commission, Emeka ENUGU, said the commission was poised to bring needed development and would not disappoint the people of the region.
I want to reassure you that we are going to be committed to our assignment in the commission. We are going to add something that was not there in the 60s. Integrated rail line, fiber optics for communication, artificial intelligence, robotics, and everything. That is the only difference, and gas pipeline that will connect the whole of the Southeast. If it is possible, we are going to give you a ring road. connecting all the states of the Southeast. We are going to work with the 5 governors of the Southeast. We are going to work with members of National Assembly. We are going to work for the people of the Southeast. We are not going to disappoint you.
He was in APC standing strong and working very hard. So I'm appreciative of the fact that he's remembered. And I know he's going to do the best. I want to thank the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for making this a reality.
The board has a tenure of 4 years in office, which can be renewed by the president. In Abuja, Nasir Usman for Signature TV.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was
Why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Welcome to Southeast News on Signature TV. It's a beautiful day, very lovely, especially for those who are working hard and working smart. I am Barry Kumo Ado. Let's start with the headline. Nigerian Army pledges commitment to tackling insecurity in ENUGU. For these and more, stay with us. The Nigerian Army says it is committed to supporting the ENUGU state government collaborating with insecurity in the state. A new general officer commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, ENUGU, Major General Oluyemi Olatoye, gave assurance during a courtesy visit to Governor Peter Mba. General Olatoye commended Governor Peter Mba for his significant investment in security, which he said is a bedrock for development in any society. He assured that as a force commander of the Joint Task Force Southeast, Operation Udoka, he would sustain the tempo of the fight against all forms of insecurity.
We could not have been able to attain the relative peaceful and secure environment we have in ENUGU today without the tireless effort and support and unwavering commitment and devotion to duty of your men and the people we have worked with. So we want to assure the Army that we are going to continue in our support. We're going to continue to provide all the necessary to bring criminality to an end.
He commended the Army for its robust collaboration. Governor Mba, while welcoming the new GOC, commended the Army for its robust collaboration with the state government, recalled his administration's commitment to eradicating the sit-at-home order enforced by non-state actors, which he said received the full support of the Army. General Olatoye, who assumed office as the 39th General Officer commanding the division on January 27, 2025, replaced Major General H.Y.T. Dada. The Institute of Maritime Studies of the University of Nigeria, ENUGU campus, and Signature TV have agreed to go into partnership to create awareness on maritime education in the state and the Southeast. This is the outcome of a visit by a delegation of the Institute to the corporate headquarters of Signature TV at Raymond Okwesi Broadcasting House, Thinkers Corner, ENUGU. Correspondent Ugone Owalo was there.
The Institute of Maritime Studies of the University of Nigeria, ENUGU campus, was established in 2014 when the former governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, was the chairman of the House Committee on Maritime. The institute has recorded modest growth since it came into being under various directors until the recent emergence of Professor Florence Orabueze as the recent director. Orabueze, who led a delegation of the institute to Signature TV, spoke of her intention to introduce new courses and programs as well as doctorate degree programs on maritime studies in the university. She therefore solicited the cooperation of Signature TV in growing the institute and boosting the blue economy in the country.
We are now trying to expand the scope and introducing new programs in terms of certification courses, programs in terms of new courses, and introducing also new programs to have a kind of omnibus that any graduates of any of our faculties come in. So we are at it. And also extending it to having a doctorate degree, because we found out that people that graduated, they are already marooned, so we have to help them, open the way for them.
Professor Orabueze also announced the forthcoming international conference of the Institute, billed for the 26th and 27th of February at the Conference Center of the Faculty of Law, ENUGU campus of the University of Nigeria.
The theme is navigating the future, anchoring sustainable sustainability while bridging the gap between economic growth and marine preservation.
The importance of linkage between the citadels of learning and the industries in driving growth and development. It is therefore expected that the collaboration between the Signature TV, the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Signature TV, Barikumo Ado, commended the passion and dedication of the new leadership of the Institute to ensure the development of the maritime industry, which he described as truly inspiring. He, however, urged the Institute to ensure that the proposed conference and other activities of the Institute are designed to create impact on the lives of the students and the wider society beyond delivering of academic papers.
He is someone who's ready to sacrifice for common good. That's the only reason why we are here at Signature TV. We are here not because we're just another media house, but as a story we keep telling. And the only way to let people know who you are is to tell your own story. If somebody will tell your story, they will never understand it from your position. Because they don't know where the shoe pinches. I tell you better. From September to now, you have shown what you can do with the resources given to you. And for us, Southeast, not just a region, these are people with more than 80 million stories to tell.
The visit by the Institute underscores the importance of linkage between the citadels of learning and the industries in driving growth and development. It is therefore expected that the collaboration between the Signature TV and the Institute of Maritime Studies will create greater awareness and promote maritime activities, support research, and contribute to the growth of the maritime industry in Nigeria. In Enugu, Ugonna Owalo reporting for Signature TV.
Parliamentary workers in Abia have commenced an indefinite strike over alleged non-implementation of a legislative financial autonomy. The workers operating under the aegis of Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASAN, who barricaded the entrance to the assembly complex, barred people from entering the premises while hanging the union's banner with the inscription of a strike notice at the main entrance gate. Addressing newsmen at the event, Abia State Chairman of the Association, Sunday Kalu, said that the action was in compliance with the directive from a national body of PASAN. Kalu said the strike followed the expiration of the ultimatum issued on November 19, 2024 and January 30th over the non-implementation of a financial autonomy, consolidated legislative structure, CONLES, and administrative autonomy. Said the union went on one in strike in 2023, but later suspended it after negotiations with the state government, but regretted that nothing has changed till date. Nigeria Governors Forum Conference of Speakers of State Houses of Assembly and the National Executive of the Parliamentary Workers had on November 2023 signed a Memorandum of Understanding. Part of the agreement was a full implementation of financial autonomy of state assemblies and CONLES beginning from January 2024. 159 pre-trial detainees in connection with the Effium crisis have been granted amnesty by the Ebonyi State government. Addressing the detainees before their release at the Abakaliki Correctional Center, Governor Francis Ubonamwifuru described the amnesty as a strategic step towards achieving lasting peace and stability in the area and beginning of a new chapter. He encouraged the beneficiaries of the amnesty to reciprocate the government's gesture by joining hands to ensure peace and develop the area. Meanwhile, the detainees who benefited from the amnesty are those whose alleged offences are directly connected to the communal crisis. They are not being exonerated from accountability. Rather, they are being given a second chance to contribute positively to their communities and to the state at large, the governor said. He noted that government are taking other steps to cement peace in the area, including the decision to demarcate the land. And now to Anambra State, where the newly posted Commissioner of Police, Ikioye Orotugo, has vowed to apprehend those behind the recent killing of 3 siblings whose corpses were dumped in a refrigerator at Nnewi, Anambra State. Speaking at the scene of a crime at Nnewi shortly after assuming office, Orotugo condemned the incident and vowed that the perpetrators must be made to pay for their action. He asserted that the perpetrators of the crime are not far from the vicinity and commiserated with the bereaved family, regretting that the society has been robbed of the potential of 3 little children. Recall the 3 children of Mr. Jude and Mrs. Chikazo Ezejie were recently killed by unknown assailants who invaded their home and after killing them, hid their corpses inside a freezer. The 3, Chikaima Ezejie, aged 9, Chiziterem, aged 7, and Chidilim, who is 5 years old, are the only offsprings of the parents. That's the news. When we return, we'll start our conversation. We are better to go. I'll tell you when we return. Just stay with us.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking. Events occur and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.